Super Bowl 60 is happening on Sunday. We've been going over the best TVs you can get, but what's powering the game is a lot of Sony technology. They're the official sponsor for a lot of the gear out there. They're not the TV sponsor, but the audio and cameras. They have that. TCL has the TV sponsorship, but they invited me out there. It's not a sponsored segment, FYI, but they did invite us while I'm out here to see the behind the scenes. We have a little video of that that we're going to roll. And yeah, I got to go to Levi Stadium, which was cool. You can see it here. So you'll see this on Instagram as well, but I got to go behind the scenes. There's proof of life that I'm alive in San Francisco at the stadium. There's the entrance. A lot of security here. That's a big deal, but we got to go see basically how they're powering the show is not even inside the stadium, but it's these mobile trucks here. And this is where they have tons of wires, like countless number of wires. You see the Sunday Night Football logo there.
Wow.
So they're doing all of this stuff. All this gear is inside these mobile trucks.
Wow.
And that's how they produce the game every week, multiple times a week, depending on the channel. But for the Super Bowl, they roll out all the gear, and it's super interesting to get behind the scenes. One of the coolest things you'll see is this unit right here. This is a truck entirely dedicated to color grading live. Like, we think of color grading as you're doing it in post. They have to do it live, where you'll see like the colors switch on the screen, because if a cloud comes over top of a player during an interview or like sideline interview, they have to do that on the fly. Super cool technology.
Wow.
Fun to see. And they were just letting us touch all the buttons and sliders. So you see anything messed up at Super Bowl 60, that was probably me. I probably touched one too many buttons. Okay. And this guy just, there's a team here, but this guy was like manning the controls. And there's, of course, the Eagles championship flag right there from last year. Exactly. I had to zoom in on that one.
So sick.
And so the stuff that Sony's powering, they have a by the numbers sheet they send over, which is very, very cool. Let's see, pull that up. Super Bowl 60, here it is. By the numbers, it's over 100 cameras, Sony HDC series system cameras. There's 18 more cameras, so they have 37 of those. 18 more point of view cameras, 5 Sony cinema cameras, probably more advanced than the ones we use, but we like a good Sony cinema camera. The PTZ cameras that kind of like are on that swivel, they look like really large advanced webcams, but they're way more advanced. So they got 2 of those. And then all these aerial specialty cameras like the Skycam type of thing. That is very cool. They got 3 of those. They have even more cameras for the halftime show. So additional cameras, 11 of these digital cinema cameras, and just a lot of gear. What was interesting is they do partner with other camera companies. So I spotted a Canon lens or Canon logo on something, and Sony was quick to point out, well, no, we still power the camera, but Canon just happens to make the lens. So they are powering all the cameras. Yeah.
So I found that interesting. Probably.
It's a collaboration, they said, which is fascinating. So they're not afraid to take the best of both worlds there. So definitely a cool little slide about, the pro support that they lend to the NFL and the Super Bowl. They still make lenses. There's 105 professional lenses from Sony, 55 full frame cameras. So there are so many cameras, so many wires behind the scenes. And our second video, you'll see some of the behind the scenes of the camera footage. So this is the pregame show where it happens. I got to kind of invade that territory. Right. It's not super neat. And like tons of ladders. There's the field and there's the Sony camera. Right. And that is pointed directly at the field. So that's the perspective you're getting when they zoom in on those shots with those huge lenses. And I'm sorry. That's my fault. I didn't mean to.
How did I get in there?
Wow. So embarrassing.
And
Look at that burger.
I'll go to Shake Shack. See ya.
So there's the Skycam right there. These are the monitors. So the other thing I got to test out was the headset. Max, we tested this out at a pregame event that we went to. So here's the headset. It is a lot like an advanced version of the headset that we use, the XM6. Yep, exactly. And it's made for the professional sense of like has to drown out the crowd noise. That is a huge thing. They took the sponsorship over or the tech over from Bose a couple years ago they had it, and they made an even more, agile, more durable headset for the coaches. So this is the one that they'll use. I tested it out. I was like, guys, it's good to go. It's Super Bowl ready.
They were waiting on approval.
You know what? It was a close call, but I tested it out and I was like, yeah, they were seeking my approval. I don't know why.
Wow.
But yeah, super cool, very durable. The noise cancellation is designed, it's like bespoke for stadiums, and that's pretty cool. So it was fun to kind of sit in this instant replay booth, where this one is actually the medical unit, where they're zooming in and trying to determine if like someone has an injury on a moment's notice. Okay. There's also the instant replay booth where it's like where there's a close call that doesn't go to the New York arena where they make those determinations. So definitely a fun time testing out the headset. It has to be durable enough to survive the snow. Obviously no snow here, but when they're playing in Chicago and there's like, a snowstorm happening, they still need that to function at 100%. And it was tons of fun to sit in that booth and test out this advanced headset. Obviously there's only one ear cup in there because they need to know what's happening on the field.
Right.
And yeah, so definitely a fun time going through the headset. Oh, there's an Xbox controller, which I found very interesting. Like everything was Sony, except for, the chief rival. But like there's a touch screen here where they can just like pan and zoom. It's almost like an iOS type of thing where they're flipping through the screen, and there's the Xbox controller. So they have the option of using a touch screen or a controller, which obviously, this generation of producers grew up playing games and grew up playing Call of Duty. So it's actually pretty natural to use that.
That's kind of genius to use a controller like that to manage like each camera angle and stuff, and zoom in, punch in, and stuff like that. That's so fascinating.
You could do it on the fly, and it was just really cool to see the 49ers stadium, Levi Stadium, where they play. And the behind the scenes was an awesome opportunity. I got to go to some other events with like there's just tons of events during Media Week. So we got to get out here next year. Max, I promise to try to bring you along next time.
Try? You could have this time.
You tried this year.
The thing is, he could have. This is my big issue with Matt Swider now. I had issues before, but now they're all gone because this is my only one. He dangled this opportunity in front of me. He's like, Max, I'm going to, like, Sony wants me to come out to the stadium and, sort of tour the whole thing. They're going to give me behind the scenes scoop on all the tech and stuff that's going to be used. I'm like, okay, great. Do I get to come? He's like, yeah, you can come on your own accord. I'm like, no. I want to, the company can pay, right? And he's like, all right, you know what? Let me just price it out first. Let me see if it makes sense. I'm like,
no,
okay,
I don't remember this part.
I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. The next day, he's like, I may have already booked a ticket for myself. I'm like,
I booked it right away.
Come on, booked it right away. Doesn't even
with
think
points.
About his favorite employee.
With points.
So I'm sure you had enough points left over for me, Matthew.
Well, you know what? When we go out to Mobile World Congress, I'm going to be sure to book you a Delta flight so you rack up the right points and not on a JetBlue flight where it just goes into a void.
Okay, you're forgiven. That's fine. I'll take the
There
points.
we go.
All right, that's enough. Okay. I am very jealous of it. What an incredible tour to go on.
It was fun. And again, that's not a sponsored piece. It just Sony was like, if you're going to be in town, come to this. So that's the only thing they were providing. So like, not a commercial segment, but a really cool behind the scenes tech segment for the live show. And we're producing an Instagram video right before the Super Bowl just to, add to the layer of coverage out there, because Super Bowl is like, it's just amazing. It reminded me of when we went to CES, and we got early access to CES, and we were able to kind of see the building of CES, because the build out is fascinating, because we usually go there to CES and everything's set up and we're like, take it for granted, 4 days there and everything's already, ready to go. Yeah. Seeing the build out 2 days prior and then work 24/7. It was kind of like that, where I'm seeing a lot of ladders, trucks, just huge uplift to get Levi Stadium for just, a game that doesn't last more than a couple hours.
But it's one of the most monumental like days of the year for any sports fan like around the globe at this point.
100%.
So I've been to Gator Stadium in Florida and like everything was internal. So it's interesting to see like all these trucks. Is like Levi Stadium small?
No, it's pretty big.
Okay.
It replaced Candlestick Park from back in the day for anybody who remembers that prior 49ers stadium. And it is, I would say just, I think the mobile aspect of it is you sometimes have NBC doing it. You sometimes have Fox, CBS. So maybe that's a good part of it, where it can be any network handling, an NFL, playoff game versus like, because they always switch out. So maybe that's a part of it. One of the things I want to highlight, and I'll highlight in my Instagram video, is, and I think it just happened so fast on that B-roll that we had, but there's a giant wall of wires, and then a warning, wireless technology is around you. And I'm like, are you sure? Because everything is fully wired. There's just like a nest of wires, and that sign was right there. So tons of wires, and they're all coming out of the stadium and powering those mobile trucks. So fascinating to see just how they produce the game off-site. And there's tons of, the thing, Kevin, is there's tons of stuff happening in the stadium, but those are permanent fixtures like the instant replay booth, the sky cam, stuff like that. So
I see.
Really cool opening segment.
We got some comments also.
Oh, good.
One from Joe Bondano.
Of course,
zero relation to me.
Oh, I guess I have to.
Oh, my fans want me to go next time, Matt.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
I should be there. Thank you.
Yes.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
What does kind of agree mean?
We're going to get you those Delta points. That's what it is.
All right. I'll take the points. It's fine. Okay.
Right.
It's going to take you to LA, which I think is where it goes next. But
next year.
He won't actually get you into the game.
Good call out. Yeah, I'm not going to the game, guys. That is a ticket that I do not have. I do not punch my card there, but we will be checking out other activations tonight by other brands, tech brands. So definitely a fun time, and I'll be coming back tomorrow night into Saturday, taking a red eye back to watch the game.